Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about how we could find the volume of a cylinder, a sphere, and a cone because they're all related. I know we did volume of a cylinder last week, so we'll do a quick review, and you should have this paper in front of you. Now if you take a look, you could see here we have some formulas at the top. So to find the volume of a cylinder, it's the area of the base times the height. And you could see here even they did two examples, and you could take a look at those. So we're going to do one of these together. I started number 9 and then we'll work on number 10 also. So you could see here they wanted to find the volume of each cylinder. So they actually have a diameter of 10. So if you remember, the base is a circle. So to find the area of the base, we could do pi r squared. So if our radius is 5 in this case, we could do pi, which is 3.14, times 5 squared. So 5 squared is 25. Times 3.14, which in this case would get us 78.5. We could then multiply it by the height, which is 11, and we should get 863.5, and because it's volume, sorry, I'll move it up a little bit, because it's volume, should be centimeters cubed, because it's volume, okay? So we could do that one. Now if we want to take a look at this next one over here, I'll draw actually a line down the middle so we don't get confused with our numbers. So if you take a look here, our diameter is 39, which would mean our radius, if we divided it by 2, would be 19.5. So we want to find the area of the circle first. So we could do 19.5 squared times 3.14, because remember, it's radius squared times pi to find the area of the circle. In that case, that's the base. Okay, so 19.5 squared, you can put it into your calculator, which is 380.25. And we multiply that by pi. And in that case, it's equal to 1,193.985. I know it's a long number. Okay, so that's the area of the base, and then we want to multiply that, 1,193.985, times the height, which is 34. And in this case, our answer would be 40,595.49 centimeters cubed. That's a big number, but that's actually because it's in centimeters. Okay? Now, if we take a look and continue on to a cone, the cone is actually related, and I'll show you why. It says here the volume of a cone, every cone has a volume that is 1/3 the volume of the cylinder with the same height and base. To find the volume of a cone, use the same formula as the volume of the cylinder and divide by 3, or multiply by 1/3. The formula for the volume of a cone is an area base and a height, which is this. So it's 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Or instead of multiplying by 1/3, you could just say dividing by 3. Now the reason for that is because actually 3 cones fit into one cylinder. So if we were to fill up each cone, this cone would fit into the cylinder 3 times. If we fill this up 3 times, it would finally fill up the cylinder. So if you take a look, you could see the example there of what they did, and we'll do one together. So if you take a look at number 7 here, okay, we want to do the area of the base again. So just like before, the area is a circle. And it actually gave us a radius, which is 8 this time. So we could do 8 squared times 3.14. And we know 8 squared is 8 times 8. Let me move this up a little bit for you so you could see, which is 64. And we have 64 times 3.14. My daughter's waving to me and saying hi to everyone. And if we multiply that, we should get 200.96. Once again, we multiply by the height, which is 18, and we should get 3,617.28. Now, like we said before, though, we want to multiply that whole thing by 1/3. So we can either multiply by 1/3, or it means the same as dividing by 3. And we should get 1,205.76. Now these little marks, if you remember, are actually feet, because there's only one of them. So feet cubed, okay? So why don't you guys try number 8 and see what you get? All right, so we're going to continue there, and you're going to try it, and I'm going to show you how we can solve it. So we have a radius of 2 in this case. So we could do pi r squared. So we have 2 squared times 3.14. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3.14 would be 12.56. And we can multiply that times the height, which is 5. And we multiply times the height, we get 62.8. But once again, because it's a cone, we want to multiply by 1/3. So 1/3 times 62.8. And you should have gotten 20.93, repeating, centimeters cubed for that answer. Okay, I hope you guys got the right answer, but that should be the explanation for it. Okay, I'm going to have you guys try some on your own in a few minutes, but that's how you can do that one. And then last but not least, we have volume of a sphere. Now, a sphere is related because it's actually about 2/3 of a cylinder fit into a sphere here. Now, the sphere formula is a little different, but we'll explain it as best as we can. So it says for a sphere with the radius r and the volume and surface area. So we're actually not going to do surface area right now. We're just going to work on volume. So in this case, its volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed, not squared this time, cubed. Okay, so we have an example up here you could look at. So let's look at number 1 together. Okay, so we have volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Now in this case, r is our radius, which is 9. So we have 4/3 pi 9 cubed. So 9 cubed means 9 times 9 times 9, which in that case is 729. Okay, I'm just rewriting the whole formula here. So we have 4/3 times 3.14, because that's pi, times 729. Okay, so if you want to solve this, you could do 3.14 times 729 first, which is 2,289.06. And we want to multiply that by 4/3. And believe it or not, we should get our volume in that case is equal to 3,052.08 centimeters cubed. Okay? If your calculator is unable to do a fraction of 4/3, you can take this number and multiply by 4 and then divide by 3. It gets you the same answer. Okay, now let's try with number 2. Okay, you guys try. Okay, so for number 2, let's take a look. So here we have a radius of 6. Okay, so we could do 4/3, that's the volume, pi r cubed. So in this case, our radius is 6. We have 6 cubed. So 6 cubed is 216, because it's 6 times 6 times 6, times 3.14 times 4/3. So if we do 3.14 times 216, we should get 678.24. And we can multiply that by 4/3. And you should get a final answer of 904.32 meters cubed. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you. All right, so I'm going to give you guys some to try. Okay, so this is the other worksheet you guys have on. Okay, so what do you guys think would be the answer for number 1? The answer for number 2, well, actually, they're a little mismatched in numbers, so I'm sorry. We'll go with the answer for number 4, number 8, number 6, and number 10. So you're actually going to solve these, and you're going to put your answers on the Google form, which is attached in Google Classroom. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And don't forget to check in on Google Classroom with me if you have any questions.